शाम को कल सुबह का। ठीक है, ठीक है। हाँ ठीक है, आज शाम को कल सुबह का। इंस्टॉल हो रही है जब रन। तो वैसे बैठने दो। तो कर सकते। अभी तक तो कोई आया ही नहीं। अरे I don't know। कर लो ना। अभी अभी 5:01 पे बता रहे हैं जो हमें। अरे तो ये भी टाइम है। क्या नाम था उस बंदे का? बात कर रहे भाई को इन्फॉर्म कर दो। हेलो। Sachin, this is Mayank here. So I joined but
Recording in progress.
Hello.
yeah, hello.
Hi, Mayank. So, shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, could you please turn on your video?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yeah. Yeah. Visible.
Okay.
Yeah. So, let's start with your. Sorry. With your introduction and with your experiences, what you have. Yeah. Please go ahead.
So basically, I belongs from Vidisha, and
Mm-hmm.
I have completed my graduation. I have done my BTech in computer science from Sagar Institute of Science,
Okay.
Technology, and Engineering. Total, I am having
Mm-hmm.
3.6 year of experience. Currently, I am working in Neosoft. Over the past 3.6 year, I have developed 12 to 14 Android projects. I am proficient in
Okay.
Kotlin, Java, RxJava, coroutine, those kind of Android related stuff.
Okay. So your total experience is how many years?
3.6 years.
Okay. Okay. Sure. So currently you are working with the Kotlin, right? And
Yeah.
okay. And which kind of applications you have worked on?
Yeah, I have worked for medical industry applications, for e-commerce
Mm-hmm.
also, and job portals also. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So okay. So let's start with the Java first.
Okay.
I think you have a Java experience
Yes, yes.
too with the Android, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what is the OOPS concept?
So, oops, basically Java having object-oriented features like uh, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, data hiding
Mm-hmm.
for enabling Uh, Means it's make Java very handy for programmers.
Okay. And so let's start with the concepts. Like, do you know about the polymorphism?
Yeah.
So how to achieve polymorphism in Java?
Okay. So when some property, when we are having the same name but different behavior, then it is called polymorphism. In Java, we can achieve polymorphism with two types. First one is
Mm-hmm.
method overloading, and second one is method overriding. So when we have
Okay.
one class, and in this one class method name, uh, two methods are there with the same name but different parameters, then it is overloading. But when we have child parent relationship, and child class having one method with uh, and parent class having method, and the same method present inside child class, uh, with the same parameter and everything is same, but uh, then it is method overriding.
Okay. Okay. And what is abstraction?
Abstraction. Showing the functionality while hiding the actual implementation is called abstraction. Um, a real life example of abstraction is a ATM machine. So ATM machine
Mm-hmm.
is having some features like withdrawal cache and all those things. But what is happening inside, we don't know. User just know about the
Okay.
action.
Okay. And how to achieve the same question in a Java on the code side?
Okay, so for enabling abstraction in Java, we are having abstract class as well as interface.
Okay, sure. And what is encapsulation?
Encapsulation, wrapping up data members and wrapping up data members inside the same bundle is called encapsulation.
And how to achieve same in a Java?
Yeah, for this we can make one class. Inside this we can same type of members and same type of member functions.
Java, just 1 second actually.
Okay,
I
fine,
have a
no problem.
I am in the same. Yeah, the same is for the. I have actually joined the 2 minute late, so that is the Falcon from relabel. Okay, so uh, so yeah, you please again tell me the how to achieve the encapsulation.
So when we have same type of data members and data members, so we can wrap up this with same class. Inside same class, like we are having some student properties and some actions for student, so we can make one class with the name student, and we can keep roll number of student and name of student, and we can make some actions inside the functions. So that is basically encapsulation.
Okay, and what are the class modifiers we have in Java?
Class modifiers, in front of class we can write public,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, public and default. These two are in, we can put with the class, but for inner class we can put public, private apps, then protected also there and default also there.
Okay, and what are the modifiers?
For methods, too many modifiers are there, like public is there, private is there, then protected is there, by default it is default,
Hmm.
abstract is there, then static also
Hmm.
there, transient, volatile.
Okay,
So total 11 modifiers are there in Java, and some of them we can put in front of method.
what is native modifier?
Native basically
What do you mean?
yeah. So when we have two language like C++, language is there, and we want some
Mm-hmm.
property from C++ in Java. In this case, we can make our method with the native keywords.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay, thanks, Mayank, for the Java side. So, we can move on the Android. So, please tell me the activity lifecycle methods.
So activity total having 6 to 7 lifecycle method like on create, on start, on resume, on
Mm-hmm.
pause, on stop, then on destroy.
Mm-hmm.
And one another method is there on restart. So when activity is just created, then on create method is
Mm-hmm.
called. We can also say it's a work lies a constructor. Then when activity is visible, then on start method is called. When activity is ready to interact, on resume method is called. So Sam goes.
Okay. So, like I am giving one scenario to you. Like we have two activities A and B, right?
Okay.
So you should mention a right sequence of method, life cycle method of activity A, and then on the click of some button on the activity A, B will be start. So first of all, you should start from the methods of activity A, then B.
Okay, so once I launch activity A, so said then on create method is called, then on start method, then on resume, and on resume, whenever on resume method is called,
Mm-hmm.
activity is ready to interact. So when I press button, then on
Mm-hmm.
pause method is called from activity A. Then activity B is launched, and on create, on start, on resume method is called. After then on
Mm-hmm.
stop method is called. On stop method
Are
of
you sure? On
activity.
stop, on stop of activity A called after on resume of A B.
Yeah, sure, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay. And what happen in case of like we have a activity A and suppose one dialog is appeared on the screen on the top of the activity A.
Then on pause method will be called because activity is not ready for interaction, and whenever activity is not ready for interaction, on pause method is called.
And when dialog disappear in this case.
On resume method is called.
Okay. And one more scenario on the activity life cycle, like we have activity A open in an open state, right?
Okay.
And suppose one phone call is coming on that scenario.
Okay, so whenever phone call is coming, then on pause method is called, then
Mhm.
uh, on stop method is called, and when we cut our phone call and go back to activity A, then on restart method is called, then on start method is called, then on resume method is called. That will be the sequence.
Okay. Okay. And do you know the fragment life cycle?
Yeah, fragment lifecycle also have same methods as activity. Some different methods also is there. On attach method is there. On activity created is there. Uh, on
Mhm.
view created method is there. On detach method is created.
Mhm.
On activity destroy method
Mhm.
is there.
Okay. And which method we use to provide bundle data from activity to fragment?
From activity on view created.
Okay. And how we
Uh,
can get the bundle data?
get argument, then get bundle. That's how.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Right. And suppose we have multiple fragments in our activity,
Hmm.
like we have at least four fragments A, B, C, D.
Okay.
And first of all, fragment A will be open. Then on the some user interaction, B will be open. Then C, and then D. So how we can manage the sequence of this fragment open and like from fragment D, if suppose user presses the back button, so the C from D to C, C to B, and A will be appear in the sequence. Like we have activities in the stack. So when the user presses the back button, so the same order will be happened, like if in case of activities. So how to manage in the fragment?
Okay, so for that, we can use jetpack component, like navigation component. One thing is there. There is a navigation graph, and we can manage
Okay.
with that very easily. Also, we
Mm-hmm.
can use fragment transactions. Inside the
Mm-hmm.
fragment transaction replace method is there, and if we want to keep any fragment inside the backstack, then we have to put a backstack in some entry. So that's how we can put fragment
So
in backstack.
okay. So do you know that method name
Yeah, there is one method,
which we
add.
will be used in case of to maintain the uh,
Yeah, there is method with name add backstack. Inside we have to pass some entry.
okay. Okay, sure. For the fragment side, and have you used the or do you know about the launch modes?
Yeah, so there is four type of launch mode is there. First one is standard. Second one is single top. Then new task, and
Mm-hmm.
after then singleton, single instance,
Singleton.
single instance, single instance.
Okay. 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 So what is the single task actually?
Single task, inside one stack only one object of activity will be created. That is single task. Like I'm having four activities A, B, C, D, and I'm creating activity D with a single task. So first I create A, B, then C. So there will be one stack for A, B, C, and if I launch activity D with single task, then for this
Hmm.
different stack will be created, and inside this stack this activity will be keep.
Okay, I'm not very much clear with this answer, but I will give you one scenario.
Okay.
Uh, so like we have four activities A, B, C, D, and B have the single task as a launch mode,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
B. And user just open in a sequence A, B, C, D, and suppose from the D, if user want to launch a activity B, so it's that's having the single task. So what is the task stake in this case? How which activities will be reside, and what is that how many activities will be there in the task stake?
So you have launched activity B as a single task, right? After then
Mhm.
C and D will be created. Okay. Mm,
As a standard.
as a standard. And after then again activity B is created.
Yeah, from D to D, user again launch the activity B. So B is having this launch mode as a single task. So what will be the task stake in this case?
Okay. So activity B is created in a different state, and A, B, and A, C, and D in a different state. And activity when we launch activity B again, at this time new instance of activity will be not created. The past one is reused, and there is one method on intent created. This method will be called when we launch activity B.
So B and C will be sorry, C and activity D will be there in another stake, as you said.
No, actually when we create activity D again, so C and D will be
Hmm.
destroyed because they are the top of activity B.
Okay, okay, okay. And what is the single instance?
When we like we if we keep the same example A, B, C, D, and we launch B as a single task, so A, C, and D in a same tray, and D will be created
Mhm.
in different tray.
Okay, okay. And do you know about the what is task stake actually? How activities insert and then remove from the task stake, and how the task stake create the different task stake. As you said, there will be a two task stake. Like in the case of single instance, D will be in the another, and the baki and the other one will be in the other task stake.
Yes. So basically, when we
So
yeah.
yeah, please tell me.
So basically, when we create a activity B as a single instance, then it will be created in a different task stick.
Hmm.
So that's how we can create multiple task sticks.
Okay. So can we create our own task stack like we have without using any launch mode? Can we create some like three activities in another task stack and some three activities in another task stack? Can we do that?
I have done this with pending intent, with passing some flag inside the intent, but I don't remember the exact uh, exact keyword, exact flag keyword is
Okay.
used.
So do you know about okay, do you know about the task affinity?
No, I didn't heard about it.
Okay. And what is no history property?
No, I don't know about it.
Okay. Uh, and yeah, so as you said about the pending intent, so how many kind of intent we have in a native Android?
Explicit intent and implicit intent, basically.
Okay, so what is explicit one?
Explicit one is when we want to navigate inside the our application, when we can use
Hmm.
at that time we can use explicit, and when we have to launch another application intent, another application activity,
Hmm.
then we can use implicit intent. Like if I want to create a mail and Gmail
Okay,
application is there, then in this case I have to use this one,
the implicit,
implicit one.
as you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how to call the implicit one? Like in case of explicit, we just need to pass the name of the class. So which kind of thing we need to pass into the implicit intent so that will be open a specific
Okay, so
activity.
basically we have to pass the fully qualified name of that particular activity which we want to launch from another application.
So what is that called actually? Like if I want to open up a web URL, so what will be the how to add that kind of thing into the intent so that will be open URL into
Okay,
browser.
so first of all, I have to create one intent. Inside this, I
Hmm.
have to pass fully qualified name of that particular activity. Then I have to put some extras inside this activity, like view action. I have to put because I want to open web URL, and then I can pass web URL and
Okay. Okay. So what is the action? Do you know about action? What is actions?
actions. Yeah, I have used, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Okay. And just use as previously you are using the pending intent, right? So what is the pending intent?
Pending intent is basically used when we create a notification. So on the click of particular notification, if we want to redirect user to particular activity, in this case we can use pending intents.
So these are the uses of the pending intent. So what actually pending intent
Pending
is?
intent, yeah, pending intent basically use with notification.
Only notification do you have heard or some another thing as well?
I have used only with notification.
Okay. Have you used with the alarm manager?
Alarm manager, not yet.
Okay. Okay, no issue. And do you know about the broadcast receivers?
Yeah, when we have to pass a system level event or
Mm-hmm.
system level event or application level event to the application,
Mm-hmm.
in this case we have to use broadcast receivers. Like one broadcast can be when we switch on or off or Wi-Fi. So this is system level broadcast, and we can system level event we can broadcast it.
Okay. So how to register the broadcast receivers?
Either we can do in Kotlin, some method is there, register broadcast receiver. or either we can
Mm-hmm.
register it in our manifest file.
Okay. So is the all versions like new versions of Android 10, 11 or 9 is allowed to register broadcast in from the manifest?
I didn't check yet, but I think they will not.
Okay. And also, as you said, okay. Also, as we have a method register and unregister the broadcast receiver. So, which life cycle method are you maybe we can say uh, right methods to do a registration of on an unregistration of the broadcast receivers?
Okay, so
So,
for register we can use on create method because whenever our activity will be launched, so our broadcast receiver will be registered, and inside on destroy we can unregister our broadcast receiver because our activity is no longer present right now.
okay. And one more question I have remember we as you are you using have you used the asynchronous task in your active previously?
Yeah, asynchronous task I have done with RX Java also with coroutines
Mhm.
and
Okay. S- okay, so one scenario in this case, if we have a activity with the orientation, both orientation, vertical and portrait and landscape. Suppose some asynchronous task is running and the screen is rotate. So in that case, what happened? The is activity is running without any problem and also async task, or it will be destroy or recreate. What happened?
so when we change the orientation and inside
Mhm.
on create method, if I have called or API or any asynchronous task, so when activity is
Mhm.
recreated, so basically uh, two call will be there.
Which calls?
Two asynchronous call will be there.
No, actually, I am asking like be normally when the orientation will be changed, so activity will be recreated.
Right.
So in that case, if the asynchronous task is running, so activity gets finished or it will crash at that time. So how to manage that thing?
Yeah. So we can call our API from the view model. So it will be because our view model is lifecycle aware.
No, actually, view model is coming right now. So if you have an experience with without using the view model, so any do you know about anything?
No, right now I
Okay, do you know about okay, no issue. So I think you are using the view model right now, right?
right.
So what are the main components of view model? MVVM.
MBBM, okay. So MBBM is having basically three main component. First one is model, second one is view model, and third one is view. So all the database related thing we keep in inside the model, and all the view related things, UI related things we will keep in inside our views. And and view model is used to as a communicator between the model and views. And inside view model, we also can keep data inside live data, and later we can observe this live data inside our views for making UI changes.
Okay. So do you know about life cycle method of view model?
Life cycle method.
Yes.
Mm, I have used one method on destroy, but I don't remember other one right now.
Okay, and like a view model, as you said that the previous problem will be sought out with the view model, right?
Right.
Like if the orientation gets changed, and so it will it's keep the data and prevent to destroy the
Yes.
data. to crash, right?
Hmm.
So how which property that view model have that do it actually?
Okay, so basically, whenever our activity orientation is changed, so it will be recreated. But our view model is not recreated. View model can survive whenever activity rotate. So view model can survive. So that's how if we store data inside the view model, so that's how it will be survive. It will not recreate it.
Okay, so do you know about some life cycle aware property?
Life cycle aware properties. Yeah, live data is one of them.
Okay, and like in case of view model, how to initialize the view model?
Yeah, so there is one view model provider which we can use from the activity, and also there is two extensions are there. First one is Kotlin activity extension, and second one is Kotlin fragment extension. Inside this one delegate is there by view model. We can get with the help of this delegate we can get the object of particular view model.
Okay, suppose we need some parameters to pass in the view model constructor.
Hmm.
So how to initialize the parameterized view model or constructor?
So for that, we have to make a view model factory. With the help of this, we can pass a parameter inside the view model. Also, we can use any dependency injection framework like Triggerhead, and with that also we can pass. With the constructor injection, we can pass.
Okay, sure. And we have one view model, so can we use that one view model with the different activities and as well as with the fragment?
Yeah, we can use
Okay, okay.
because it's not tightly coupled with the activity. So we
And
can.
also, have you used the room database?
Yeah, I have used room database
Okay.
as well.
Could you please come again? That is the some I missed some part previously. What the view model?
Yeah, because view model is not tightly coupled with the views, activities and fragments. So one view model we can use with different views.
Okay, okay, okay. So, what as you said that you are using the room database, right?
Mhm. So room,
So, could you please explain the components in short description?
okay. So room basically having three components. First one is a database, second one is DAO, data access object, and third one is entity. So all the table related things like what will be the column name, what will be the primary key, what will be the foreign key relationship, all those kind of things we have to keep inside the entity, and all the database related thing like what will be the or database name, and what entities we are using, what are the type converters we are using, all those things we
Mm-hmm.
have to keep inside the database. And third one is data access object. So it is like a communicator between database and us. So inside this
Okay.
we have to keep methods, and with these methods we can access data and read write operations, all those things we can do.
So, what is in case of table, we have one table, and so how to communicate or we can say connect model and the column in a room database. Like we have one column having user data like name, ID, date of birth, and some address kind of thing. So, how to relate with the model class?
Okay, so for this, first of all, we have to annotate our model class with entity. Then we can make variables inside this class, and each variable work as a column name. So like we are having
Okay,
roll
so
number.
so can we give a different column name with the other than the parameters or variables
Yeah, sure, we can do it with at the
of
rate
model
column name.
class?
Hmm.
Okay,
So
sure. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That is the I'm only need. Uh, and also, how many kind of operations do we can perform with the room database, like insertion and other one?
Uh, Basically, we can store data and we can get later it. So all
Okay,
casing
so
related thing we can do, session related thing we can do.
no, like as you said, we can store and get data later. So how to do that? Like we have a insert operation with some annotations, like or a delete. We can do delete and update. So do you perform that update, delete on the room database?
Yeah, I have done. So for that, we have to make methods inside our DAO. So for that, like
Hmm.
I want to insert data. So I have to make one function inside our DAO in with name
Hmm.
insert, and I have to annotate this function bit at the rate insert. And
Yeah. So do you know the all the annotations for this kind of operations? Like
yeah,
basically we have a, yeah. Please tell me.
first one is insert for inserting any data. Second one is update for
Mhm.
updating any data. Then delete is there. And if we want to get some data, then there is another keyword like at the rate query. Inside this, we can perform any query, SQL query.
Any other annotations?
Currently, I am remember only these.
So like we have one scenario that we need to perform two operations in a single call. So how to do that?
What kind of two? Like insert and update.
Like no, like we have one two tables, so we need to get one information from one table, and then that will be the input for another query.
Okay, so for that we can use a foreign key relationship between the tables, and we can get data from different tables.
Okay, so do you know about at the rate transaction annotation?
No, I haven't used this.
Okay, and also do you have any experience with the SQLite directly?
Directly I have used in initial days, but nowadays I am using only Room.
So do you remember that super class that need to extend to create a database object?
No, currently I don't remember those SQLite because I
Okay,
have not used very long time.
okay, sure, no issue. So let's move on some another topic. Like, do you use the services in Android?
Yes, services I have used.
So which kind of services we have in Android?
So basically, we are having two type of services. First one is normal service. It run on our main thread, and the second one is intent service. It's run on background thread.
Okay. So intent service, as you said, it is run on the background thread.
Yeah.
Okay, and like we have a different service. Like currently we have foreground service and then background service, and one is the bind service. So do you remember
Yeah, bind service. I remember if we want to
about this
direct.
kind of services?
So bind service, I remember like if we want to directly get the object of a particular service inside our activity, then we can
Hmm.
use bind service. I have used for getting the user current latitude and longitude with the help of bind service. I have done this.
Okay, so foreground service, how to we can create, and in which case it will be destroy.
Foreground service we can create with start foreground service, and inside this we have to pass the service object, service intent basically. That's how we can
Hmm.
start foreground service, but I don't remember know when object will be destroyed. Basically,
So
whenever, yeah.
yeah. So, like there is a need, a notification will be there for foreground service, or it will be running without a notification.
If we are running foreground service later the Android 8, then we have to register a notification.
Okay, okay, and also, how many years of experience do you have in a Kotlin?
Starting 6 months, I have worked on Java. After that, I have switched on Kotlin, and uh, after that, for 1 year, I have done projects in Kotlin as well as in Java. But currently, I am working in purely Kotlin.
Okay, and as you said just previously, the Jetpack Compose. So you do know about how what is Jetpack Compose?
Yeah. So inside Jetpack Compose, we don't need a XML files. We can directly create our views from inside our activities or fragments. But I haven't used it, and
Mhm.
I
Okay,
just
no.
know the basic knowledge.
Okay, so we come on the Kotlin. Like, what are the properties and benefits over Java of Kotlin?
So Kotlin is basically extended version of Java. Whatever we can do with Java, same we can do in less number of lines of code and more readable code inside the Kotlin. It is having very amazing features like extension functions, scope functions, uh, then when keyword is there. Those kind of properties are there inside Kotlin.
I last part I'm missing. So which kind of keyword you said?
When keyword,
Okay,
alternative
okay.
for switch.
So yeah. So do you know the null safety feature of Kotlin?
Yes, yes. So we can achieve null safety with the three ways. First one is if any nullable variable is there, any nullable object is there, and we want to access any property of that particular object, then we can use question mark. If that particular object is not null, then only the operation will be performed. Then question mark late is there, one scope function is there. So inside this lambda, whatever statement is written only executed if a particular object is not null. And third one is a null assertion. So for that we have to use a double exclamation mark, and if any nullable variable is there and we are sure this value will be not null, then we can use double exclamation mark.
So that, as you said, it is a null assertion. So it is null asserting null, or it is not asserting null.
So basically, if any nullable variable is there and we know at that particular time that nullable variable keeping some value, it will not be the null. At that time, we can use that particular.
So if we are using that double explanatory mark with some with after some object, so that will be we are saying to a compiler that it will not be null, or it may be null. What is the right statement?
It will not be the null, we are saying.
Okay. And what happened if it gets null or it is a null in that case?
In this case, we will get a null pointer exception.
Okay. So Java null pointer exception or some other one?
Java null pointer exception.
Okay. And as you said, the scope functions, what type of scope functions we have? How many scope functions?
We
Do
have
you know
different
the
type of
name?
yeah, we have different type of scope functions like late is there, then apply is there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Any other?
late apply. Currently, I remember only these. Others also there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No issue. And so let's move on another thing. So what are the primary constructor and secondary constructor concept of Kotlin?
Yes. So primary constructor is like whenever we are declaring any class. So after the class name, we
Mm-hmm.
can declare a primary constructor,
Okay.
and
And what is secondary?
secondary constructor after inside the class we can declare another constructor that will be the secondary constructor.
So how to create the secondary constructor?
We have to use constructor keyword, and we can pass parameters, and
Okay. Okay. So like if we do not want to create a secondary constructor and also after a class creation, normal class creation, not an activity. So we need to initialize some initial object that will be required to do the task inside the that class. So how where we need to put that kind of initialization of some of the objects uh, like in case of database we have some database operation with some methods, so we do not need to create a inside the method, but we create and place as a global object into the class. So where is the place we can uh, create those objects, as we have a primary constructor, we do not need to have a scope to create that kind of thing in a header of class.
we can do this with extension function.
No.
Then I don't know how it will be.
So do you know the init block?
Yeah, init block I know, but
In,
we don't have the access of that particular class.
no, no. Like why we use have the init block, and
Okay.
can we, in which case we?
Yeah. So inside primary constructor, after the class name, we can declare any variable. And if we want to perform some statement type of uh, statement, if we want to write some Kotlin statements, then this statement
Mhm.
we can write inside the init block. After the means whenever our primary constructor will be called, at that time they will be executed. Whatever written inside the init block.
Okay, actually that is I am want to know previously. So, okay, and with the class, uh, how to extend the class in a Kotlin?
There is a colon, we have to put after the class name colon and whatever the parent class name. That's how we can extend.
So we do not need any extra effort to do to extend any other class, right? As you said.
Yeah, first of all, our parent class should be open. Then only we can extend.
Yeah. So how to that open we the base class? It will
Hmm.
be open, or we should need to create the open.
By default, it will not be open. We have to put before the class keyword, open keyword is there. We have to put that. Then only it will be extendable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So and also, do you you should use the you must use the um, data classes, I think
And data
you have
classes I
used.
have used.
Yeah. So what is the syntax of data class?
Yeah, if we want to create any data class, then first of all we have to write data keyword. After that class, then whatever the class name, and then we have to declare the constructor. At least one parameter should be there in inside the constructor, and automatically toString method automatically written for that particular data class, and all the getter setter method for uh, all the properties of that particular class.
Okay. So like we have one scenario, like we have one data class student, and later after some time we have one new requirement to put some new variables inside the uh, student data class. But the thing is that we do not need to modify that previous data class, so we need to create a new data class student 2. So can we extend student previous student class and create a new student data class 2? Is it possible?
Uh, I don't know by default data class is open or not. If it is open, then we can extend first student class to second student and we can do it.
So if it is the we cannot create the data class as a open, but like can we create as a open by using the open keyword data class?
Yeah, by open keyword we can use.
Okay, and uh, yeah, so data class you said we need to add at least one variable, need to pass at least one variable. So why we need to pass at least one variable?
Because the purpose of creating the data class is we use it inside the model as a model.
Hmm.
So if our model is not keeping any data, then it is basically useless.
Hmm. Okay, okay. And between activities, if we want to pass some object from one activity to another, so how we can do that?
Uh, we can use bundle or put extra method of intent. That's how we can pass in the form of key
Yeah, but
value pair.
no, no, that is the right thing. But we need to pass some like a data class object or a normal object having some variables.
Hmm.
So how to pass that data object,
Okay, okay. So first of all, we have to
data
make
class object into.
hmm. First of all, we have to make our data class parsable. Inside Kotlin, one
Hmm.
plugin is there for making data class parsable. After that, we can
Hmm.
pass that particular object input extra of intent.
Okay. So, have you been created a parsable class with yourself without an plugin?
I know the process, but I haven't done. Like we have to implement a parsable interface, and uh, we have to implement some methods of a parsable interface. That's how we can create parsable object class.
Now, remember the names of that overridden methods.
No, currently I don't. Those.
Okay. So, one question like give some information like we need to read and write the variables inside the parsable if we uh, implement the parsable interface, right?
Right.
So, can we need to follow the sequence of putting read and write of variables, or it will be can we follow any sequence of reading and writing?
I don't know about it exactly. But you
Okay,
said
okay, okay.
I think there should be sequence is important.
And one more thing for the shared preference side. So, how to create shared preference object?
Set preference object.
I think you should use. You must use it. How many ways we create a shared preference object?
Sorry, I don't remember it right now. Directly I
Okay,
used a shared preference manager class is there, and we have to pass
okay,
the context of or activity or application context and uh,
okay, okay. No issue. And all what methods we have in shared preference methods, so we can commit our data. So like we need to store some data, so we need to call some methods that will be give us surety that our data will be stored inside the shared preference. So do you know the methods name?
yeah, one commit method is there, then another one is apply method is there.
Yeah. So do you know the difference between both of them, apply and commit?
Commit give us acknowledgement and apply won't. Like basically commit return a boolean type
Okay.
of value. So if it is true, then
Mhm.
our operation is done. If it is false, then operation won't yet done.
And how to store object inside the shared preference?
And we have to edit the set preference and we have to pass a key and value.
No, no, that is the right thing. So we can store all the uh, a data type like integer and all other thing. But like we have some custom object, custom class object we need to store,
Hmm.
like
So,
some bean or pojo class object we need to store,
okay.
or a JSON object.
Hmm. For that, one JSON library is there from Google. So it convert basically our object to string and a string object to that particular Pojo class. So that's how we can.
Okay, okay. Right, right. And have you used the singleton pattern or singleton class?
Yeah, I have used if inside Java if we want to create a any singleton class, then we have to make constructor private so that from outside of class no one can create the object of that particular singleton class, and we have to create one singleton method, one get instance method, and we have to create that particular class static instance inside that class, and inside the get instance method we have to write the logic only if a variable is null, then only create the object of that particular class. That's how we can create a singleton class inside the Java. And if we want to do the same inside Kotlin, then we can do it with object keyword.
Okay. And suppose I need to create some methods inside the object of Kotlin. So how to call, sorry, object, not object, methods, I said.
Hmm.
We need to create some three methods inside the object of a Kotlin side. So how to call that methods from outside of that object?
Okay,
We need
so
to create.
if our object name is a, then we have to call method a dot and whatever the method. That's how we can access the method inside the object. This behave same as a static method inside the class. So with the
Okay.
name,
And okay, okay, sure. And what is the extension function?
yeah, some predefined class is there and some properties not there inside this predefined class or inside particular class. And if we want that particular action or property, then we can write extension function for that. Like one string class method, like a string class is there, but for converting formatting date, no method is there inside the string class. So I can make one extension function inside the string.
Okay, okay. And we have a array list in the Kotlin. So how to get the count of that, or how many size of that array list? Do you know the name of method like
Yeah,
we have in
size, one property is there, size, array list
sure
dot
we
size. Yeah, size is there inside list also, inside
okay.
array list also. With that we can get size.
Okay. And what is the unit keyword in Kotlin?
Unit is behave same as a void keyword. If we don't want to return anything from inside the method, then we can keep a return type
Mhm.
as a unit.
What is any keyword in Kotlin?
Any same as object class, like it is a super class of all class.
Okay. And what is nothing keyword?
Nothing, I don't know it, nothing.
Okay. Okay. And what is the inline function in Kotlin?
Inline function, um yeah, if we only want to write one statement inside the function, then directly we can write after the method equal to and whatever that one statement. After the method
Okay.
signature, directly we put equal to and that particular statement.
Okay, so we have time constraints, and also I need to ask some quick questions. So, do you know the solid principles?
Yeah, I know.
So, tell me the and in the shortened way.
Okay, so solid first come S. It is single responsibility principle.
Mm-hmm.
All the classes of should only have one particular responsibility.
Yes.
O is for open and close. If
Mm-hmm.
any functionality is not there, then we have to extend that particular class, and we can
Mm-hmm.
perform. AL is a list of substitution. So always we have to use interface where we can use, wherever we direct don't have to use class object as a constructor parameter or anything.
And another one.
Next is interface segregation, and last one is D. Currently, I don't remember.
Okay, no issue. And also, have you used some design patterns in your projects?
Design patterns like builder design pattern, factory design pattern.
Mm-hmm.
This, yeah, I have used builder and factory both.
Okay. So how builder we should create?
Uh, every method inside the builder should return the builder kind of uh, builder object of that particular class.
Okay. Uh, okay. So Mayank, I have done from my side. And do you have any question for me?
No.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
एक घंटा लिया भाई ने रिकॉर्डिंग हुआ ना बराबर से क्विट रिकॉर्डिंग ना